What's going on, everyone? We are here live from AZ & Associates Real Estate Group here at HQ, and we are beginning with our new topic, a new focus moving forward in a new series that I'm very excited about. It's called The Main Focus, and this came about, and my guest today is Yesenia. She's going to be teaching, not really a guest because you're going to spearhead this, but this came about through a simple conversation we had at our Goodyear office. And, I was talking to Yesenia, and she was telling me about how she used to teach. She was a grade school teacher, and she got really excited about that. And I was like, well, how can I implement that here within the office where, agents are excited about teaching? And I realized as we learn, as we grow our businesses, in order to get that fuel within us to continue to move forward and to continue to grow is to share what we've learned. And I correlated that, and I said, you know what, Yesenia, I want you to come in for something I've been thinking about. But that really just that conversation spearheaded everything that we have going on and moving forward. And it's the main focus where we just focus on one topic from one of our agents, and we drill down to what makes them different, what makes them successful in this industry. So even today we're going to be talking about home buyers, but we'll have maybe 5-10 different other agents sharing their process on home buyers. So I want everyone to kind of get an idea of what they can apply to make their own system. Okay, so we can't have just one canned strategy. Every person in here is very different and operates differently. And what I'm trying to do here is just grab that nugget to present that nugget in front of you, and you grab whatever's going to work for you and run with it. So with no further ado, I want to go ahead and get started, Yesenia. Thank you for starting this process and motivating me to, I thought about this, but after our conversation, I was like, this is perfect. Yeah. So again, this is called The Main Focus, and today we're dealing with home buyers. Now, you've been in the industry how long?
It's 13 years.
13 years, and she's a top producing agent here in Arizona. And let's go ahead and get started. What has made you successful where you've been able to grow your business? Talk to us a little bit about your home buying process. Where do you start? And we have a live audience here, so this is going to be very interactive for those of you that are watching us on recording. Go ahead and let's start. Where do you start with your buyer? Let's go ahead and start as soon as you meet them. What kind of conversations do you have? And how do you get their information so they can trust you?
So first of all, just backtracking on the sharing. This is just my way, one way, and whatever you guys can gain out of this, yeah. I want to gain the items from you guys too as well. There's, like you said, there's not one way.
There's not.
But just have in mind that this is years of implementations, 13 years of what works, what doesn't, and just adjusting. I'm still adjusting. That's one of the things being an educator. You're always learning something new every single day, so you adjust. So are there things that I might need to adjust? Are they too old school? Yes, that's why I would love to see everybody else's, but for now, I'm happy to share what I, the processes that I do. The process, and one of the things that I do, and I'm going to refer to my book just because there's just a lot, and I don't want to skip certain parts that are important, but I have to have in mind that, first of all, as a teacher, I pride myself in educating my clients. I think the education part of the buying process, because even the selling process and the buying process, it has a lot. It's legal advice that you have. Well, it's not. It's legal on our side, but they're signing a legal contract.
Yes.
So it's very important. With this age, you have DocuSign, and how I tell them is, I need to backtrack on that. I need to make sure that my clients are well informed. Is one of the things. I already did on that one. Okay. But one of the things that I always tell my clients is one of the biggest investments in their life.
Yeah, so of course, yeah.
That's why I feel that they should be very, very well informed, because it's one of the biggest things.
Yeah, so education is like letting them know from beginning to end. When you say education, what is it exactly that you tell them about the contract?
Well, first of all, I start them up. So at this point, I really am a referral-based agent. Mm-hmm. So when I get the call, I sort of prepare them. Okay, I take about 20-30 minutes on the phone with them when I get that first call. Okay, just to dial them in, see what they want. And then I do set them up on arm lists, I said, just to get a gist of what they're looking for, just to get their appetite wet. Okay, you're looking in this area, 3 bedroom, 2 bath. Okay, garage or no garage. So I get their appetite wet, because then they have to go to the lender and go through all the pre-approval process. So and that way it educates them on, okay, what's in the market, what's the price range, and then once I get them to the pre-approval process and I get that pre-approval letter, at that point it's, okay, you come to my office and now it's, let's meet.
Okay.
So when I meet, it is an hour consultation.
Okay.
I do not start with a buyer without an hour consultation. In that hour consultation is I call it the first phase, is a reality check.
Ooh, like it.
The reality check is because I have a screen this big, I say, okay, tell me what you want. Give me your dream and let's create it. And they'll tell me, oh, well, I want a three-car garage, I want pools, I want, this and that, I want in this area. Absolutely. We create it. And then let's say, okay, just have in mind that these are the cheapest to the highest price points. They're like, whoa.
Yes.
So it is a huge reality check for them. And then we start narrowing down, okay,
That's a good strategy.
what are we looking? What you're comfortable with this payment, according to the lender. Now how could we tailor it? Now
Yes.
we play with it.
What can we give up?
Well, exactly. What can we give up?
Yeah.
So this here, I do take, even though they have been seeing homes and, everybody has Zillow, everybody has online, but now we're really narrowing it down to active listings
Yes.
and areas. So my consultation there and them looking at the screen themselves is powerful. It avoids me weeks and weeks and
Yes.
weeks of taking them in my car shopping. No, because they're seeing what they need to see. It's not what I want to pull. And I go, oh, look, in Maricopa, there's how many listings? Oh, yeah, there's 21,000. Yeah, now let's narrow it down. So we go through it and see, and I play with it, and they love seeing the numbers that the houses keep getting smaller.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness, I only have 20 to choose. Yes. Yes,
That's
you
so true.
do.
So much on the front
No.
end that it avoids like weeks of showing homes, yeah.
Weeks. So that avoids a lot. So after that, I have a folder for them. I have a folder. The folder has a copy of the purchase contract, buyer's advisory, all the addendums, the agency. They have a copy, and I have my own vanilla folder with their name labeled. So I have mine and theirs. Theirs, we get it out, and we go over the page 1 of the purchase contract. The page 1 of the purchase contract outlines exactly what the purchase contract says, and they should read the full contract. So, and it goes over the rights. So that, I get their copy, I'm sitting there, and I always have a highlighter and I always have a pen or pencil. I get that highlighter, pen and pencil, and we go over it, and that's where I say, okay, you're going to expect homeowner's insurance. It's important for you to shop the first 10 days for the homeowner's insurance. It's part of your inspection period.
Yeah.
Find out how much it's going to be. So I always, on the first page, I write, you know what? It's going to be from $500 to $800, $900, depending on the home and the area. So they already know, okay, when I'm calling around for homeowner's insurance, it's going to be a yearly fee of this much, and
Yes.
this makes your payment. So I tell them all those little details that they need to know, and of course the rights, their inspection rights and everything. But I go over the first page outline, and then I go into the actual contract. Look, here's the thing, and this is why I want to go over it with
Right
you
now.
now, because we're in an era where everything's docu-signed.
Mm.
If I'm out there showing you a home, and you love this home, I have a team. My team is ready to say, I already have your offer is pre-filled already. All I have to do is boom, tell my team, boom, send it to me, so we can send an offer. So efficiency, boom, I have it already, dialed in. So you're just gonna come in electronically sign. So it's so important that you know what you're signing.
That's so awesome because especially in high demand areas, you're able to now have a better chance of getting that property, and you also give them that sense of urgency, right? Because it's like, hey, listen, the market is pretty hectic. So we have to make sure that we're able to put this together pretty quickly. So now that they have the physical copy, they'll go right through the electronic copy of it.
Exactly.
And that's
Because
a great idea.
one of the things that they have to pay attention is, okay, how important is close of escrow? And I tell them, close of escrow is the day that everybody's working towards that day, because that day is the day you give keys.
Okay.
That's everything. You're moving. Everything has to focus from that day. One thing that I like to pause in the contract is I make them read the section where it says the property is sold as is. I stop and I make them read it. It says sellers and buyers agree that the property is being sold in its as is condition. Yes, 2 years ago it wasn't like that. They had to repair all the mechanics, but not anymore. That changed. How that helps me, and this is why I wanted to discuss this.
Good.
How this helps me, because it gives their mindset. So what I'd say, I said, read this. And then they read it. I said, okay. I said, but that doesn't mean, I said, that's why the next portion of the contract, I know the contract like the back of my hand. That's important to know it.
Yeah.
I said, that's why the next portion, disclosures, is so important to you. You need to know what you're buying.
Yeah.
When you know what you're buying, does that mean because the contract says it's as is that you're not going to do your inspection and you're not going to ask for any repairs? Absolutely not. I said, but what it does do, it sort of limits, we're not going to give them a laundry list. Oh, I want, we do our inspection report and I want 1 through 30 fixed. No. Contract says as is, so it helps me put them in their mind,
so good, yeah.
and the mind frame of, guess what, we're focusing on the biggest details. For example, AC is not blowing the cold air. Yes. Roof shingles are missing. Yes. Any water leaks, and so I make them focus on the bigger items, and then it prevents all this mess and bins. Oh, I want this. I'm like,
Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of new agents run into is like if they don't set them, if you don't like make sure that your client understands that portion of the contract, they say, well, I want everything on there, like if it's a brand new house. So now you've set that expectation. Say, hey, I'm going to go out in there, I'm going to negotiate the things that are important, not every little small detail. This is an as-is house.
Exactly.
So that's so great because now you're not, I've seen some contracts, I'm sure you guys have seen it, where it's like 3 pages of all the stuff they want requested. And oftentimes it's because the buyer's agent didn't set up their clients properly.
Exactly.
They set their expectations too high or didn't give them that reality check that you mentioned.
So it is a reality check. And when you set them up, it makes our lives easier. Ultimately, it makes our lives easier because we're educating. We have to educate. They have to know that's what they're signing. And that's very, very important. So, and I do tell them, okay, does it mean, I said, well, I always give them the assertion. I'm like, this by us not asking for 3,000 things and only asking for let's say the top 5, it makes the seller, okay, I'm good with that.
Yes.
And guess what? I said, I get my bids accepted 99% of the time for all the repairs.
Yes.
I said, there's not one that I don't. Why? Because I'm not asking for 30 items.
Oh, and the
So-
sellers do get bitter about that. They're like, well, what do they expect? So now
I'm
they're
not gonna- yeah.
they're less likely to accept those items. Yeah.
Exactly. Then they're less likely to refuse it. So they're like, nope,
Yeah.
we're not repairing anything. So that's why this pre-consultation is so important, to set these expectations up. It's like a classroom. When a teacher begins their first year, you sit those kids down and you give them your expectation.
Yes.
This is my expectation. It's the same way with a buyer.
Yeah.
I have to set my expectations and
Because you're the professional here.
Exactly. What they're going to expect from me and what we're going to expect when we go out buying. Okay?
And what you're going to expect from them as well.
Exactly. And what I'm going to expect from them. So that's that. I also had, I do tell them, I'm overloading you with lots of information, but I said, don't you worry. I'm giving you this information, but I'm your guide. I'm just giving you the upfront information so you could be able to sign and DocuSign. But guess what? We're gonna be on the phone. I'm gonna be texting you.
Reassurance, yes.
And you're gonna be getting emails from me. Now goes the email portion of it. AZ has always been for years. I was here 2014. Systems and processes. Get it drilled. Because that will help you be a higher producer year after year. So I remember coming to him, I probably was at, a $2 million producer, and I was, okay, okay. Coming from the teacher's perspective, oh my goodness, I got to check. You know, from the teacher's perspective, I was okay with that. AZ kept pushing process and systems. And year after year, he's like, no, this year you'll be able to do the 4. This year and the next, this year you'll be able to do the 6. This year, and I was like, no. Right, that's a lot. And you know, I kept self-doubting, and I would do what he said. I was like, darn easy. Man, what a hustler. He's
awesome.
good, what a hustler. He got me going. And to the point now, you know, this year you're going to be in 10. I was like, okay, I can do it. I was like, oh my goodness. So it's that assertiveness and following what he's saying works. It really, really does. So one of the things that he had us, I don't remember we were doing it. He had us doing for a whole different purpose. I took a different twist to it. I took the education twist to it in many areas.
I love it.
So
I love what you've done.
In 2014, he introduced us to Get Response, which is an automatic email. And an automatic email, so I said, okay, how could I do this automatic email? So of course I took the twist of the education and I said, okay, I'm going to create processes, emails. I know what I'm teaching and I know the contract. I am going to, not only did I go over the contract, but now they're going to have to get automatic emails from me of every single step of the way. So on the buyer step, I have a buyers, I have a sellers, I have after closing, 3 months after closing, I have a year after closing, I have a year anniversary where they're getting automatic emails. So Get Response has worked for me. It's like about $15 per month, cheap, and it does so much. It makes you look like such a professional.
Like you're on top of your game.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So they're looking at you like, my goodness, this lady knows her crap.
Phone call, she spent an hour with me, she's explained it, she's texting, I get these emails like
Exactly. Now they see it in writing. So one of the first things that I have is a 10-day inspection period. And I forgot there should be another one that says congratulations. I don't see it here, but it's congratulations. We've opened Escrow, and it tells them the 24-hour escrow, and it tells them. You know, what they could expect. Their deposit, it goes towards their down payment or their closing costs. It's nothing I have not gone over that they haven't heard.
just reminding them.
But this is reminding
And
them.
here's the thing. Here's the beautiful thing about it. It legally also, they can't come back, well, you didn't tell me that. Well, I spent an hour with you. And I also sent you these emails. I sent them straight to you.
And you have my text.
And you have my text message. Yeah, so I've told you all this. And it's not about just, you know, I told you so. It's about really just communication.
It is.
And so if you don't, are you guys getting this concept with Get Response? So what she does is as soon as she gets them under contract, they go into day one of this automatic email. So it says, hey, congratulations on the contract. This is what to expect. And then the first thing she explains is the 10-day inspection.
So I have opening escrow. I said they get the automatic email on day 1. Day 4, 10-day inspection period. What to expect and what to do in their 10-day inspection period. Calling insurance, the BINSR, how many days do they have, how many days from the BINSR for the seller to respond back? Oh, there's a 5-day, they have 5 days to respond to our BINSR. Then I go to shop for your homeowner's insurance. That's where I go into quoting of, you know, hey, start with your own policy, your vehicle policy. They give you a multi-policy discount.
So going more hacks about how to go about
exactly. So every single one just goes. Let me see. I just love it.
This is not a CRM, correct?
No, it's not. It's just
I created that.
Response.
Yeah.
So I sat there.
Yeah.
I sat there and just wrote, okay, what do I want them to know in their 10-day inspection period? How do I prepare them for appraisal? So all
you really did is look at the contract and say, what are the important dates? What are the most common questions they ask me? And how can I put that in the forefront? Kind of like setting the expectations so you're not like getting all these phone calls or all these, like these questions when they already know.
They already
So
know.
can you show them again how it looks on the calendar aspect of it?
So for example, on the calendar.
So let me show you. So here, so she's got this process, and it goes all the way through day 25. So she selects the day of when she wants that email to actually go out to that particular client. And I'm thinking, okay, on day 10, that's when the appraisal starts because the inspection period is over, right?
And that's where I tell them, look, you don't order the appraisal until you're good with the property. There's no way you're going to spend money on an appraisal before you know that you're good with the inspection.
And that's a good point. So for new agents, never have your lender order the appraisal prior to the inspection. They want to get this closed as much as you do, but guess what? You still have to protect your client.
Nope.
So make sure to always tell them to wait until you've come into consensus with the inspection period.
So then I do, and then of course I let them know, okay, that's the appraisal. Then I prepare for your move. And that's where I tell them, okay, start getting boxes. I even tell them, start getting boxes up because it's coming soon. That's, you know, you have 2 weeks. Then of course, I do be sure to call utility companies on day 23. And I already prepare them. Okay, utility companies, what companies are you going to be calling so you could set them up for the close of escrow date? So they're getting on that automatic email. The next one I do is your final walkthrough. What are they going to expect on your final walkthrough? I have a binder. On our final walkthrough, I have a binder. It's called my closing book binder. And my closing book binder has my private notes. It has all my marketing pieces, my calendars, all of Yesenia's whatever that I want them to put their magnets in the refrigerator, and everything. I have it there. I have their BINSR, their list of repairs. I have a copy of the contract. I have a neighborhood profile. I have appraisal of the inspection, appraisal title of the title commitment. I have appraisal and inspection. Everything is in one binder, one copy for them. So if they have any questions, they have their binder. I have title company create my cover pages for the binder. So that's all set. More importantly, I do have the home warranty. I always make sure my buyers have home warranty. I do not close without home warranty for the reason being that I myself, I'm not trying to sell anybody. I don't get anything from this, but I use Old Republic.
Yeah,
I use the heck out of it. I have a call this week and last week, and my water heaters went out. It's just a self-assurance that you're going to be okay.
You're dealing with the right company.
Yeah. So, but as far as their closing book, I just on my final walkthrough we do the closing book, and then I tell them it's 2 days prior to the close of escrow, and it's going to vary on, are the sellers moving, are they going to be okay? We're just going to have to be. It could be 5. The contract I tell them says 5. 5 days prior. I always say 5 to 2 days prior because of you have to be you have to fluctuate depending on the seller situation. So and it goes with that. I do the final, and then of course I do my last one, which is prepare for your closing. Prepare for your closing. That's when I tell them, and that's day 25. That's where I tell them, and because you can't see the actual thing. I'm not showing it here, but prepare for your move, prepare for your closing. You will get the CD. It says you will get the CD to sign. It has to be signed 3 days prior. I do all my bullet points. I said lender will be sending loan docs to title. Title will send Yesenia final numbers to review and approve. Final numbers are approved by title and will call you to schedule appointment. Signing at title or take place of a place of your choosing 1 to 2 days prior, so they know that they're going to be signing a day or two prior to closing. And then I said on close of escrow date, the lender will send wire to title. I said title releases to record with Maricopa County, meaning it's officially under your name. You get keys that day.
I love how you have this in bullet points, so it's not this big long email, so they can go in there and just look at all bullet
and then
points.
I bold what I want them to do.
Yeah.
It's just steps. I know these steps, but I want them to be well educated, well informed.
And it's automated, which is beautiful.
Automated. Day one, part of Alex, I have my assistant. She, she's my right hand because she does all. This is what I do, but she has all her opening escrow steps, and this is part of the escrow steps that she does. She puts them in autoresponder. So this is powerful for me. I think it makes me stand out as well.
How many people are doing something similar to this? Like, now do you see how? Yeah, good.
I actually want you to send me that because mine is I do what is it?
Yes, where?
And I send them out like that, but I just feel like it's never in the timely matter. So right now I have day 1 escrow, and then in 5 days I send the Binzer one, and then in 10 days I send the Spuds one. So it's kind of like not in a really good order where if you could send me that.
Do you have autoresponder?
No, I have Yesware. It's kind of like this, it's similar.
But this one you create, like I go in there and I like last night I was looking at it, I'm like, oh no, I don't want it to go out in calendar day 25. I want it to go out in calendar day 23. You adjust it.
Yeah, really easy to adjust.
It's really easy to adjust. It's really easy to work with. It's just, I like how, and I give credit to my marketing. I had marketer, okay, utilities, call utilities companies and post office. So they found the, utilities, water, fire, power, they found the art to go with it.
Yeah, really and I like that too. You have like little pictures.
Yes, for keys and everything. The only thing that I see that I'm missing that we're going to work on this week is, no.
I love it.
Is that has to have AZ and Associates logo. Boom. I have to have my name. I'm out of compliance right now. I'm sorry. But I am out of compliance. So I need to put my big, beautiful gold stamp of AZ and Associates, and it should be the same size as mine or bigger. That's the rule of thumb. So that all that needs to change, and it will be changed.
I love your logo, by the way.
Awesome.
Yeah. So that's that on autoresponder. When I close, let me just show you. I went crazy. I have 1 year anniversary, so they get their anniversary email. That's also set. I also get. I love this one. Let me just.
So how many of us, like, after they close, we kind of forget about them? But just imagine, like, once you put it on, like, and you could even go as 3 months later, 6 months, 9 months, and 12 months, where you actually automatic email just saying, hey, you've been in your house 3 months. Hope all is well. Reach out. And 6 months later, you tell it the computer system to, or the calendar system to email them again, and then 9 months, and then a year. It's like all that's being done for you.
It's being done for you. It's just with a click of a bit.
And it probably took you 1 hour to put that together, and yet it's going to pay its dividends.
For me to write it,
Yeah.
the girls were creating it because at that point I had a marketing rep, but I call it a check-in. I call it check-in, and I have probably 5 of them to hit them the first 2 months.
Wow.
Why? I have quick reminders, property taxes, as far as you're going to be getting your property taxes. Remember that they are being charged. It's part of your payment, but keep that stub because you want to take it to your accountant because it is tax deductible. Okay? So I think of things. Then we have, that's just one, property taxes. Then I have settling in.
What day is that
you're settling in. I'll check in the calendar right now. And this tells them about a reminder of the home warranty. And I always say, for now, keep enjoying your home. Please continue to help me and expand my business by telling everybody you know that is looking for a realtor / broker about me. My business depends on your referrals. That's how I end every single one. Constant reminder, I'm here. So that's another one.
Delivering. And you have no qualms about asking because you're delivering. Go ahead, Maddie.
How do you ask for a referral? I always feel like I'm always too pushy, especially after we close. I don't want to be like, hey, and by the way, can you refer me anything, or if you know anybody type thing.
And you do it slick. So when you're doing your final walkthrough, I said, hey, were you satisfied with my, how I performed? And, oh, yes, we're very happy. Okay. Well, if you know of anybody, any family or friends that are looking and want the same service that I provided to you, just give them out my name. Here's, in your closing book, you have extra business cards. Slick.
Yeah.
And then,
but you have the confidence that you delivered at a high level.
Yeah.
It's not like, well, I didn't call them for 2 weeks. I didn't call them for a week. It's like there's constantly something out there for them. So.
Yeah. And then another thing that I do is first payment, useful tips. I tell them, okay, rule of thumb, make it before the first. But if there's an event that you can't make it before the first, you have a 15-day grace period. Please talk to your mortgage company, but there is that 15-day grace period, and I do tell them that. Useful tips, okay? So I just think of things that questions that they would have that first month, and then I remind them of their home warranty. Hey, if something's breaking down, don't forget you have home warranty. Look in your book. Here's the brochure. Call that 1-800 number. So all these
A great
tips. So that's
system.
just my first hitting them the first 2 months. This one is set up. Let me see. Look at it in my monthly calendar. So I hit them first the day 8, 17,
After they moved in?
40. Yes, and then it goes on. Yeah.
You can show more days there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and then
And then
day 60,
60.
1,
So,
2, 3, 4, and the
4.
first 60 days.
In the first 60 days.
How many are you guys hitting 4 times in the first 60 days after they close? Or are you just like,
Maddie, how many times are we touching them?
They get my KCM. I just send out the little articles. So they're getting
this will be good.
something.
This will be good specifically to them, which is awesome because they
This
just
is
bought the
awesome.
home.
And you don't even have to think about
No.
it.
No,
It's
upon
just-
close,
It's done for you.
create like a new
that's gonna
profile
be-
for the
yeah.
homeowner, and then you
Yeah.
kind of start these notifications all over again,
Yeah.
or do you continue off of the original one that you
When it
created?
closes, the day it closes, and part of Alex's closing steps is to put them on the 0 to 3 months. It's called buyer reminders. And then
So you can take that contact and just kind of scoot them over.
Scoot them over.
Yeah. Now the system allows you to, like, once they go through the 30-day, to now go to another list. So if Get Response allows you to do that. So
Yes.
once they finish the 30-day process on our original list, you can direct Get Response to say, okay, now take them to this list.
Take them to the other list. I also put them in the 1-year anniversary list, and I put them in this tips, items of interest. The items of interest hits them for the first week, 1 year. How did I do that? I'm like, okay, let's go to Old Republic has a website where it says, okay, advises. There's all types of advices, like, water heater, you have to drain it once of this. So
Yeah.
these are just tips that you get out there that I prepared, and it goes over for a whole year. So I put them in tips.
That's
Yeah.
so
And this is just tips on appliances, tips on water heater, tips on
So
electrical.
you could take the KCM stuff and the stuff that's more general, like you could actually put that in here as well.
Exactly.
The best articles of KCM, because not all of them are great,
they're not.
but some of them are really good that
Yeah.
are like, evergreen.
So-
That means that they can be used anytime.
Yeah. So pick one once a month. Once a month. One item of interest once a
Okay.
month.
I have another question.
Yeah, go
Yeah.
for it.
How do you reach out to clients that you haven't spoke to? And I mean, you probably don't have that issue, but I'm sure it happened at least once where you haven't spoke to them or haven't sent an email out in like a year or months. Do you just automatically send them an email or a text?
How do I speak? I just call them up
Call
and say,
them.
hey,
It's been a year. I can't believe you're already in the house a year.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just I'm so
Nonchalant.
happy for you. Just you try to don't make them nervous.
Don't make it awkward. Yeah.
Yeah, don't make it awkward.
So
Just-
even if you're not like in the neighborhood, I was in the neighborhood. And
Exactly.
I just
Yeah, that's one of the things that I use. Hey, I was driving through your neighborhood. I use that a lot. I'm glad you
Yeah.
reminded me. I was in the neighborhood. The house looks great, and I see you did this. What else have you done? And so I'm pretty sure you already settled in, and you just continue.
Yeah, because-
continue. They've been seeing me.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the thing. Like, it doesn't have to be. They understand that you delivered on. Like, my attorneys are not like, following up with me. But when I see, they're like, oh yeah. I mean, it's like nonchalant about it. It's not their job to necessarily keep. Like, for me to continue to call them. So if you don't, they know that you're busy. But when you call them, it's nonchalant. Like, oh, it's been a year since I sold you your house. How's it going? Are you ready to buy another one, or just a regular conversation? But it's only as awkward as we make it, right?
Yeah. And that goes with, AZ wanted me to talk to do's and don'ts. I mean, that's sort of my process there as far as, but I wanted to, I'm going to go with the do's because there's a lot of do's.
Okay.
These are just, how I educate my clients.
Love
But,
Was there another question before you go into that? What other questions do we have?
yes.
Yes.
So in the beginning, explaining like earnest money, all that you explained throughout the process,
Oh,
right? Like closing costs.
Earnest money, closing costs,
Okay.
seller has their own. So that's another
Can you
thing
kind of
that
tell me how you explain it? Because I sometimes struggle
So
with
go through that process.
And I would be happy for you to sit with one of my buyers. I sit my people. I say, you come in with one of my buyers, and
Okay.
you see the realities. How. So whenever you want to join me with a new buyer, I can let you know, and you
Yeah.
could always join to see how I do it.
Yes.
Okay. But how I do it, I do take time where we're going to put the sales price, the earnest money, and and explain mortgage insurance. I do go over that.
I like that.
I go over that when I'm explaining the purchase contract. I also go over seller concessions, and this is how I tell them. I said, look, you have to have in mind that you you're not paying me as an agent. You already have your down payment and your closing costs. So guess who pays both agents? Seller. So I turn around the paper. On my contract, their contract is all written up. I put a house and I split it. I said these are buyer's fees and these are seller's fees. Seller has to pay both agents and title insurance. They have their own fees, and you have and I notate their fee. I do notate the breakdown. I break down they have lender fees, title fees, they have appraisal fees, they have the inspector fees. They have all these fees. I said, and in here you have your insurance. You're gonna have to pay your insurance up front for a whole year. So I tell them, you have these, seller has this. So what we're doing is you have your closing cost fee. Seller's already gonna be paying, let's say at least, 10, 15,000. He's not gonna be getting, but we're asking him to pay an additional 4 to 5,000 for you, which are your fees, not his.
Like that. Good.
Not his. I make sure these are things that I know you foresee that you're gonna have. Those are the little things. Binzer and asking for concessions.
Yeah.
So I prepare them. They have their fees too. So it gives them So it gives them more in the mentality where,
Because a lot of people call titles.
I'm asking them to pay for my upfront homeowner's insurance. Yeah, you are.
And
So-
It takes that entitlement aspect out of it.
would you say
Exactly.
that it's kind of our responsibility to kind of separate that with lenders, because what I find is lenders kind of sell no money down, we can get you in lowest possible, but what people forget to understand is it actually costs money to buy a house.
Exactly.
Just your down payment and your closing costs are completely separate. So when you can actually take the time to say, you know what, this is what a down payment is and this is what a closing cost is. I understand that your lender's telling you that you can get in with 0 to no money down, but this is what they mean by that, and this is the other side of the deal, which is closing costs, because it's $14,000, $15,000 to buy a house,
Yeah.
including closing costs.
Yeah.
An average $220,000 house right now. If you're not getting closing cost assistance and you're putting your own down payment down, you're looking at $20,000 to get into a home.
And that's one of my dues. One of my dues is team yourself. It is vital, so vital to team yourself up with a good team. Your lender is part of your team and your title company is part of your team. Because when you have the right people in back of you, your life is going to be so less stressful.
Yes.
You're not stressing over if title did this, title did that. No, you need to have the right people that you know are going to bend over backwards for you. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
but you know that they're going to work for you.
Yeah.
So title's huge, and lender, because you have that peace of mind. So at that point you're like, well, yeah, we need to work with your lender and see how he works things, because it costs money.
Yeah.
We used to have those grants that they would give you all this money and you didn't have to, you just had to live in the property for 3 years. So Trump came along and wiped all those out. They're no longer there. So right now you have those down payment, those Home in 5, Home Plus, but they grab you in the interest rate.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the things that I educate them as well. I said, look, fine
a
and
second
dandy,
mortgage.
this is what they offer you, but do you really want to pay $6,000 for 30 years for the rest of your life? If you have it, I suggest you get the better interest rate, because they're putting your interest rate to over 6% with these programs. So it's up to you. So you make them think. They're coming to you because they want to hear it from a second person, not only their lender.
You're the professional.
You're the professional. You guide them. You guided them to that lender. You want to make sure you're covering every single part of the transaction. So don'ts is we do not, every time we make payments and everything, or we're talking about payments, every time it's estimated. This is estimated. I'm giving you a gist. Never give them because you direct them back to the lender. The lender will tell you the exact numbers, because then they'll hold you they'll hold you to it. It's like, oh my gosh, but you said it was going to be $1,315 my payment. I'm like, no. It said, no, you have to go back to your lender. I could give you an estimate, but it all depends on the property. So always give estimates, not solid
Yes.
figures, to not get yourself in trouble. One of the things I said, I'm gonna since I started on, I'm into don'ts. One thing, that I made a mistake as a new agent, and we talked about this, is stressing your clients out.
Yes, this is vital
Okay,
here.
one thing is communication, showing them about the process. Another total different thing is telling them items that stress you out. Just keep it to yourself. You're the professional. You handle that. Don't give it to the clients to stress them out. You handle it. Once it's handled, then you're like, oh, you know, we had this little bump, but I handled it.
Yes.
Okay? Yeah, I lost sleep? Yes. Yes. Do I want to, you know, but guess what? No. You want to make their transaction, you know, they're already stressing out on finding where to move, finding, you know, just signing all the loan docs, all these docs, and just the whole process of it's stressful. For us to put our stress and our little things on them, no. So that's where we
I remember
have to,
doing that. Like when I first started, I thought I was doing a good job by just communicating, and I was over
That's
communicating.
over-communicating,
And I was just telling them
stressful.
every little conversation between me and the other agent about how
Exactly.
unreasonable, and they started stressing and had this like anger towards the other party. I'm like towards the
Exactly.
sellers. It was just a mess.
Yes, that's exactly my point, because then you're doing this.
Yes.
Oh, the seller, oh, and they don't want to, yeah, no,
Yeah.
just communicate what is needed. You're already communicating, you know the
The legal
process and
aspect,
then
yeah.
the legal aspects.
Be the savior.
Yeah, so, yeah, keep it, unfortunately,
Love it.
keep some items to yourself.
I think I'm
Until
in
it's
that boat
handled.
right
I
now.
love that.
I'm in that boat.
Yeah,
Right.
no, we all go through it. It's part of it.
And that's
it's
the difference
part of the
between-
learning
yeah.
phase.
And
It's
that's
like,
the-
okay, I need to shut my mouth.
And-
They don't need to know this.
And that's the difference between just getting started in this industry versus a veteran that understands that not everything needs to be done. And guess what? Out of 10 contracts, veterans will keep 9 under contract to close. Newer agents will probably lose 8. And that's just the way it is, because there's little mistakes. But this is perfect because she's telling you exactly how to be able to communicate and ask the right questions or
You
whatever it may
wouldn't
be.
think of that one either.
What's that?
You wouldn't even think of that one as a don't.
Yeah, as a don't. Yeah,
Yeah, it is a don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big time. So you do not want to do that.
And I like the way you put it. If it stresses you out, like don't put that stress on them. Figure it out.
Yeah.
Then come up with the solution.
If I can't figure it out, then,
Okay. Here's the bad news. Yep.
well, I guess these are options A and options B. Okay. And I could give examples. I have weekly examples, but I'm not even going into that because
I love it.
The other thing that I wanted to say of don'ts. Let's see. Don't let. I know we have to. The clients have to shop around for their own loans. You encourage that, but if you see them going into a lender that has bad reputation or that, it's going to make your life miserable. So make sure you let them know, hey, you know what, we haven't got a good experience. Are you sure? You know, I've had a good experience with A and B. You know, you want to check them out because you can shop around. You have, you know, if they pull if you have a 3-week period for the mortgages to pull your
It's 45 days now.
It's 45 days?
Yes.
45 days to pull your credit, and it won't be affected. Shop around for your loan, or, you know, and I give them, okay, I've been working with these people for 5 years. I close every single loan. Here, this, but you give them options as well because, yeah, a lender could
Yeah.
really make or break it. So very important is, yeah, if they're not, you have to steer them in your direction. They're in your court, and you have to protect that transaction.
You have to encourage them. We're gonna go ahead and omit that out of the video. No steering here. No, we encourage. It really is encouraged because they can make or break the experience for not only the buyer but also us. I mean, I think we've all ran into a
Nightmare.
situation where we dealt with a nightmare loan officer. And loan officers, just like, you know, realtors, they're not all cut from the same fabric. So finding these relationships, and we have something that we have Jason's team here that we really encourage because he delivers, but it doesn't have to be him. Just go to somebody that can deliver for you on a consistent basis and that will answer your phone call, because that's important. Like you said, that will bend over backwards to deliver for you.
Exactly. Okay, now my do's. I do have a lot of do's. So
Let's do the do's.
let's do the do's.
So any more don'ts?
Not right now.
Okay.
They'll probably come out right now. Not right now. One of the biggest things was stressing your clients out.
Okay.
My do's, and this is just, I want to say it should be just a standard. You need to show your confidence.
Yes.
Don't show your weakness. Always show your confidence. Do not, even though you are melting inside and you are like trembling, show that side. Just, you've got this. They're going to you because you're the professional.
Love it.
Caring. They need to make sure you care. You smile. A smile goes a long way. You reach out to them. You acknowledge their kids. You acknowledge their dogs. You care. You want to care. You're not. I don't know if this is wrong of me, but I do not look on the MLS on what percent I'm getting, because that sort of plays a different game on me. I don't. I'm like, okay, if it's a property for them, I'm gonna. I always tell them, hey, I'm not gonna live in there. You are. So if this is it. This is it. So I don't want that to affect their choice at all. Okay.
Good.
So Carrie, because then you're showing them they're in good hands. Start preparing for Zillow reviews. Zillow is huge out there. We, as an agent, you need to look me up in Zillow.
Ask for a review.
You absolutely, hands down, all the time. You're preparing them. Hey, guess what? Prior to closing, hey, you're already preparing. Just like you're asking for referrals, you're asking for reviews as well. You happy? Okay, if I need to do something better, let me know. I'm always willing to work on myself, and I even think, oh my God, I need to do this better. No, I didn't do this right. I need to work on myself. It's always working on ourselves. So you ask, hey, I'm going to be sending you when we close, look at like a week or so after for a Zillow review. If you could give me one, I would really appreciate it. That
Do you
helps
send
me.
them a link to give you a
Absolutely,
review?
absolutely. You send them a Zillow link. Yes, I have my website is off of Zillow.
Your
Like
website's
my
off Zillow?
website is off of Zillow. Yeah, I do. I pay $10 a month, and I'm out there. But they don't have that. I'm grandfathered in.
When
they
do
don't
you
have that
send them?
anymore. Huh?
When do you send them the review?
Well, you want to wait till they're moving and settled in, so that after that first week.
Okay.
Okay, because that first week they're moving. It's too much. They're not going to do it. So you have to wait a week. So always prepare them for the Zillow review.
Love it.
I do give them a closing gift. If I didn't give them a credit, I give them a closing gift. When I do my final walkthrough, I always give them something, little something. Yes.
I always feel that I still have to do a closing, like something tangible that they can touch, even if I do the warranty.
Do
I
one thing or
struggle
another.
with that.
One thing or another.
Okay.
So hard. Earn money. I mean, you could
So you're
do
saying
both,
you
but
purchase the warranty and you still feel like you have to do something
no.
in addition?
I mean,
Yeah.
it's up to you. But if you did give a credit,
I'll give
That's-
a card with the
6
home warranty
months later.
brochure.
yes,
Yeah.
I don't know, something creative.
You're welcome.
Here,
X, X,
reminder.
oh,
Here's your warranty.
Here,
Yes,
XOT,
yeah.
here's the-
Exactly.
Laminate it, put it on the wall.
Here you go. Purchased by Claudia. Yes. Another
Love
thing,
it.
and that's where I said always ask for referrals. Always ask for the family and friends. That was one of my dues.
Yeah, referrals.
And I also talked about my dues having a good team, lender title.
Yes.
Facebook promotions, guys, your social media.
Yes.
Huge. That's part of my closing steps, or my opening closing step. You guys need to make sure that you have it. You have a promotion under contract. I mean, you could go even at appraised. If you're starting off, and then of course the closing. Make sure that when you're doing your final walkthrough or getting keys, take pictures of them, personalize it so you can put it in your promotion. So social media is huge. Make sure, that's why during the transaction, hey, are you on Facebook or Instagram? And they say yes, okay, send me. And I friend them during the transaction because now they're getting to know me as a person, my family, my kids. It's more of a connection. But you do this while you're on, you're doing the transaction. So then when I allows, if they're not friends, I can't tag them. Now I could tag them, and all their family, all their spheres of influence can see moi representing their beautiful home. Okay, so very important.
I use my personal more than my real estate Facebook page. Is that okay?
That's where she's doing that.
I do both.
That's what you do?
Yeah.
Absolutely, I make sure I do. Yeah, I use both. So yeah, that's very important. I mean. Also, I just put on inspectors, when you're gonna order, I don't know why I backtrack, but when you do your inspections, always recommend a couple, because you could get in trouble for just recommending one. You say, hey, this is the one I've been using, but if you have one that you liked, let me know. If not, here are a couple that I could recommend, because it could get you in trouble too.
Yes.
As far as inspectors go.
Your inspector didn't find it. Your inspector, yeah.
Okay, so, and that's, I think that's it. I said take control, going with that, you take control of the Binzer. I take control of the Binzer. They're like, okay, Yesenia, what you suggest what we want to ask for? I'm like, okay. Let's see this AC, see this leak, see this. I think these are the 5 items, if there's anything else, but these are the ones. What I do, I get the inspection report. I screenshot that particular number. Screenshot. Okay, and then I text it to them. I said, what do you think of these? Boom, 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 boom. And I texted the screenshots. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Then whatever you say. Perfect. That's what I'm going to write down. I'm going to send you the Binzer, and you're going to, and then you're going to see if you wanted to add anything else. But I think these 7 are good, solid, and they won't kick us back. They will not kick us back, because if I do a list of 15, then they might fight us back and not want to do anything.
Yeah.
Or the smaller ones.
So yeah.
I love that they said, when you have clients that say whatever you say, it's because they have complete trust in the confidence and the way you've been communicated. You've built that rapport, and that's when that's less traction that you have to overcome. It's like, okay, I trust you, and you're like, you've been straight with me from the very beginning. You've been communicating with me. So yeah, like when it comes to this, I'm gonna go with what you said, and that's perfect.
Exactly.
And it's all setting the tone.
It's setting
The
from the
tone from the very
first call.
beginning.
From the first call, you are in control. You're driving that from that first call. So
Very different from newer agents starting out. They're like all over the place. They're like being swayed back and forth, and you're just like, no, we're gonna go my way. Here's the path.
Yep.
Least resistance. Let's get you from point A to point B, and I got
There
this.
you go. Yep. And it sets me up because as I'm growing, I'm getting more busier and busier and busier. This year I have had some buyer's agents, and buyer's agents are important because then I still go through all these steps. The only thing is my buyer is opening the homes for them. Okay. Have I educated my buyer's agent? If the house is vacant, turn on all the lights. Turn on all the lights, turn on the AC. Do not go in there and just, oh, okay, no. Be proactive, move, because that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna turn on the lights, flush toilets. I'm a contractor's wife, so I know how property operates. I open and close a garage. I make sure I turn on the AC if it's heater or AC. I go in there, boom. Let's look at, and they're like, no, let's go look at the condenser fan. Let's go look at the condenser. I make them walk outside and look at the unit. Okay. Obviously, if they're like, oh no, okay, we don't need to waste our time. Vamos.
Yeah.
But if we do, if it's something that I should see, I read them, then let's do this right now, because the property is being sold as is. And you need to buy it when you show it in its as is condition. So you better be opening and looking at all that at the first if they show interest.
If they show interest.
If they show interest. So that's when, and guess what? If there's no power, I go around, go to the electrical panel, make sure all the break. I am like, let's go. Let me go check the electrical panel. Oh, guess what? It's closed. Okay, let's go. Let's do it. Now we turn it on.
So you make a vacant home inviting.
Yeah.
Just to make sure they're not turned off if they don't.
Yeah.
And it could have been
they
the
see
perfect
it-
home, yeah.
if they see
Yeah,
it.
because again, they're buying the home. The contract says they're buying it as is. So last thing we want is for me to make them spend $300-400 on an inspection, and I don't know. They couldn't get. For example, the gas didn't turn on at all. If it has a gas stove, I know these are things that will come up, but there's just certain things it's just better. It's just better. It makes them, oh man, she's really on top of it. She's looking out for my
I was
interest.
just gonna
Oh,
say.
Yeah, that's true.
You
It
understand?
instills confidence.
Think about what they're seeing
You show
about
them
you.
care.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it goes
Yeah,
back to your number one.
do I show in heels? Yeah, I don't care. Let's go. Look at all my heels. They're all But guess what? I'm out there. You have to show you care. So, yeah. Any questions?
questions?
When is go to work with Yesenia Day?
We're gonna have
So,
to
you know,
We're gonna have to rotate.
You know, it's funny because, you know, I've been in this industry many years, and what you've done here, like, this is very easy for all of us to follow, and it sets the standard. Like, these simple things, that everything she explained here was very simple. This will set you apart from 99% of the agents. Just kind of this follow up, and I love the whole fact of instilling confidence, showing confidence at all time, and caring. You know, like something as little as acknowledging kids and pets. I mean, that's huge. It's part of their lives. And Zillow Reviews, closing gifts, referrals, the right team, and the Facebook promotion. All this is really good stuff. So thank you for sharing this. Any questions? Like, what do you have? Any general buyers questions? Are you guys doing good?
Did I
Comment
cover
on
it?
Yesenia. My last closing that I had, the seller's agent spoke very highly of you. I didn't even know who you were. He's like, hey, I seen that you just joined AC and Associates. I had to send him my.
Are you Martin?
Yes, Marcus. We've
yes.
had, and then she ended up meeting one of my friends, a dental assistant as well too. All of them have spoken very highly of you. So whatever
the
you're
best.
doing, you're doing very well, and I just
Yeah.
want to congratulate you.
Thank
on
you,
that.
Awesome.
thank you, yes, awesome. Well,
Like, I got a lot of insights on this.
I know, I did too.
This
Me
is
too.
this is
Yeah,
perfect.
This is
This
a
is
game
awesome.
changer.
Yeah. Do you guys like this format here?
I do.
I've seen her in action.
Yeah.
I've seen
You
her.
already did. You already did.
Hang out in the Goodyear office. I'm telling you,
No,
she's
she has
there.
an office and she bolts in there, and I'm like, girl, shut those doors, Yesenia.
And that's the thing, like,
Go
you
in
guys have
that.
access. Like, that's what I love about, you know, this brokerage and the people in it, is that she's open. She's not like you close her door and don't ever talk to me type of thing. Of course, she's a busy woman, but she's open to sharing. So she's in the Goodyear office, and just hang out in the bullpen, like, watch her work, and you'll see
Sharon
how
did that.
a top producer works versus am I doing everything to my potential to get there. So I invite you, like, let's keep these offices like energized and busy. And these little steps will get you to that next level, from $3 million producers to that 5 and 8 and 10. This process was lasted years. It doesn't happen overnight,
Yeah.
but she is consistent, and this is only a small platform for her. I know where you're going to take this is a whole new level, you know. So this is exciting. Anything else?
Any advice on listings?
Oh yeah, that's a whole different.
That's a whole new
I
thing.
have
Yeah.
my whole setup for
Yeah.
listings.
So we're
yeah.
gonna bring her back, and we're also gonna bring other
Yes.
agents back. Like, it may be one of you as well. Like, if there's a process, an open house process, or something that's worked for you, like, that's what we want to hear. Because you may be doing a lot of what she's doing, but I know there's at least 5 or 6 things that you can apply immediately, and it just changes the dynamic of how your client now sees you and your approach, and just the little nuggets that I got. This was pretty good. I took a bunch of notes as well. And we're gonna keep this in Workplace, so if you want to review that, and we're gonna try to break it up into like little lesson plans, the do's, the don'ts, and all this other stuff. So, all right.
Great
That's
job.
great.
Thank you. Let's give it a round of applause. Thank you.
I got nervous at the beginning. I was like, oh God.
You did. This was perfect.
I had to get over that bug though.
Did you see her like when she was in her elementary?
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
all right.
She was a teacher
Sorry.
screaming at her.
Oh yeah, I do have a loud voice.
No, you're
We
good.
were like, okay, we will do that.
And don't.
Do's and don'ts. This was perfect. Thank you for setting it up so nicely. This gives me kind of like a guideline as well of how I can kind of
I want to sit down on her phone.
break it down,
Yeah.
set it up. So this was perfect. I like the do's and don'ts, the strategy you use.